I guess the first one would be just switching positions, the groups that you're working with. How's that going? And what all's going into that?
Great. You know, it was a fun change for me. You know, it's actually something I've coached more than the previously, so really exciting. Excited to coach the guys that are in that room. There's some talent. It's a unique situation. We've got two. Keldrick's not older, but he's real experienced, and J-Mac, and then everybody else is super young, so it's kind of a fun deal. So really enjoyed it so far. Really like the guys and you know their effort, but just trying to piece it all together day by day.
Jaylen was talking a lot about those younger guys yesterday. Just what have you seen out of especially the early enrollee freshmen so far?
Man, they're just really hungry. You know, I think sometimes when freshmen come in, it goes one way or the other. Where maybe they're a little too cool for school, and you know, and they just kind of feel their way through it, or they come in guns blazing, not worried about screwing up and things like that. And I think they're doing more of the latter. Their attention to detail is good, but at the same time, you know, I've emphasized to them since they got here, hey, don't worry about making a mistake. Go out there, play fast, we'll fix the mistakes. And for the most part, that's what they're trying to do.
Between the ends and the edge guys, what does practice look like? I mean, are you having them all do the exact same things? I guess how do you kind of split that work?
Yeah, so I mean, so basically when we're in like 4-man front structures, I'll have both of what most people would call the defensive ends, right? The end is one of them, the buck is the other one. If we're playing more odd front things where that buck might be dropping or moving around, I'll just have that guy, and that guy will work with Vontrell some, you know, or one of the GAs, you know. So for now, just of what we've installed so far, I'm working with both those guys. They do multiple things. You know, I've always said, Coach Durkin believes in this, we've got to have enough answers within our scheme and in our conference to be able to attack people. We don't want to just get pigeonholed into just being a this or just being a that. So as a coach or coaches, we've got to be able to move those guys around.
What's your sense of how Jaylen did in his first year at Auburn and what he needs to work on going into?
Yeah, you know, I mean, golly, I thought Jaylen had a really solid year. I don't think people understand how banged up he was the entire season. You know, I mean, golly, you go watch him play against Georgia, and he looked awesome. I mean, they got the best O-line in the country. I thought as the year went on, he got more healthy, made more plays, played really good versus Arkansas. You know, so I think he's got an opportunity to kind of be a featured guy in our defense to make a lot of plays. I mean, you look at Coach Durkin, he led the SEC in sacks last year, I believe, and was up there in TFLs in the country, and those edge pieces were a huge part of that. So I'm really excited for Jaylen.
You mentioned, you go.
Could you talk a little bit about Amaris and like his high school film?
Yep.
Was insane. Like, what did he do in year one?
So I'm going to make this clear for everybody. This isn't me being a jerk. I want to help. It's Amaris. All right. Okay. All right. Because it's on my. I want to make sure early on people figure it out. A lot of people screw it up, but it's Amaris. But Amaris could be as talented of anybody on our whole defense, just from a freak standpoint. I mean, you're talking about a guy that ran like 11.3 or something like that at like 270 pounds in high school. You know, just he takes so many steps forward every single day because everything's so new to him, right? He had a great day yesterday. Really excited for him. Really excited for Auburn fans to follow him. He is going to be a very, very talented player for us moving forward. He just needs to come with his notebook every single day, ready to learn, because it's just a lot of new things for him.
Do you anticipate him kicking inside very much, or is he primarily an end right now?
I think he's the Keldrick Falk mode. He could move inside some, but he's a little different now. I mean, he's super twitchy. I mean, I think he's going to stay on the edge the majority of the time. I mean, you go watch team run, and he can run with all the linebackers. I mean, he's a freak. So there'll probably be some things where he can move inside potentially, but probably as a freshman, we'll probably don't try to limit moving him around too much to keep it simple for him, you know.
Some of the other young guys you got mentioned yesterday, I think it was Jamonta, TJ, and Joseph as some of the guys who Jaylen said y'all were kind of working with, just like with those guys too, I guess. Just what's stuck out about each of them individually so far?
Yeah, Jamonte's an elite pass rusher. He's probably the most ready of the young guys from a pass rush standpoint. Maybe not necessarily the run, just from the strength and things like that, but just being able to just line up and go rush. He can do it. TJ's a guy that's probably going to be a guy that'll move inside a lot. You know, that probably fits him more. You know, we were really just kind of letting him play on the edge a little bit just to start to get a feel for him. But he's going to play more inside probably moving forward. And then Joe is similar to Amaris, just at a different position. You know, raw, but really freak athlete. High school played receiver, tight end, linebacker, you know. So athleticism, he's got all of it. It's just a matter of figuring it out and things like that. And he's similar to Amaris. Every day he takes big strides. He's just got a ways to go in terms of learning what to do, obviously. You know, I mean, I think sometimes we get really excited about talking about these freshmen. I mean, they should be sitting in their Algebra 2 class in high school right now. You know, they enrolled early, you know, so them just being here is invaluable just in terms of reps and things like that.
And then you mentioned DJ too. Just what's the experience been like of working with him so far, and what has he kind of brought to this defense?
Man, he's an incredible leader. You know, just his organization and how he unifies our defensive staff. Obviously, has head coaching experience and things like that, so I'm sure that's part of it. But for me, you know, I've been real impressed with just the organization of our defense and his plan. You know, he's a big picture guy. He does a great job. This is why we're doing this at this time, and A, B, and C leading into D. So really, really excited about working with him. Yeah.